and try to, evaluate, hey,
am I living the life I want?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only question you need to ask. And if there's any bit of frustration there that you're like, okay, there's something hidden on the inside of me, but I'm just too scared or can't do it, welcome to the club. And I just want to say this is for you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Maximalist. As you can see, we're just chilling, in our dining room. Super stoked to be doing this. We still don't know how this is gonna look like or maybe pan out, but we are so stoked. We just want to share it with the world. But before we get to all of that, hey, we just want to introduce ourselves first. My name is JB. This is my wife.
Hi, I'm Chris.
So just to sort of, get in touch with the people that'll be hopefully watching or listening to this. Maybe we could tell them a little bit about who we are, so who are you?
There's not much to say. I'm Chris. I'm his wife. I guess we have two girls that are like a year and a half apart.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a job. Not a housewife, but I'm more like
she hustles.
Yeah.
Online.
I have too many jobs. I don't have one specific job. I do too many things. So yeah. Who are you?
I love how I said, I guess we have two kids. I'm like, of course we have two kids.
Nervous. I don't do this.
So anyway, this is just a glimpse of like what we really do. Like we just sort of like banter, back and forth. But obviously because of the camera, we're just a bit nervous. It's normal. But every night when the kids are asleep, basically, we just hang out like this. We have coffee, we have treats, cookies and stuff like that. But anyway, so my name is JB. Born and raised here, obviously. I left for Australia at the end of high school. So most of my college...
When he was 20, no, I'm kidding.
Most of my college, university life, maybe like 7-8 years, I was living in Australia. Came back 2012. I've been back ever since. I met Chris the year after that. So we just, we raised the family together. But one of the things...
Sorry for our background.
So by the way, sorry about the background. There's a lot of things happening, around the area. There's like dogs and
tricycles and
heaps
everything.
of sounds and crazy stuff like that. But anyway, hey, that's the whole point.
Welcome to Manila.
This is the whole point of it, man. Like we never wanted to wait for the perfect time, right? We just really wanted to.
Well, we don't want to wait anymore, I guess.
Exactly, but we'll get to that in a second, and I think it's gonna be quite, powerful. For people who are watching and maybe if it resonates with you, hopefully we can build the community around this. But one thing that really, and this is I guess something that we can explain. One thing that really connected me to you is we have that's one. I don't objectify women, all right, just to be completely clear, all right. I just thought she was cute, but anyway. One of the things that really made us gel straight away from the get-go was our thrill for adventure, travel adventure. Maybe you can sort of say a little bit about that, like how we sort of got together with those conversations.
I just like this, but no, I'm kidding.
PG. This is PG-13. I was trying to go
not for YouTube kids.
I was trying to go for like PG. Now it's like, anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
Well, part. Because if I'm gonna talk about JB, I just liked him because he was cute. That's it. But if I'm being honest, one of the things that really, I guess, kind of made me see that he's different. Because I was a commitment phobe before I met him. I'd be like, I'd kind of string someone on, but really like, okay, we're not really gonna end up together or whatever. But the thing I really liked about JB is that he shared my love for, I guess, travel. And mind you, I've never traveled before that. Like, I've been to local places. I've been to, like, Catanduanes and all these things, but never out of the country because my parents were so strict. But what I really loved about him is that he seemed to share the same love for travel as me. Because, I guess, just to share, if someone asked me back then, and if someone would still ask me now, what is your dream profession? Or I guess, what do you want to do with your life? And I only have two answers, and it's stupid. Like, it's really stupid.
Don't judge.
Yeah. My answer is I just want to travel. Oh, it's three things: travel, eat good food, and meet people. That's it.
Yeah.
And I've been told like that's not a dream, it's a fantasy. But really, there's really nothing else I want to do but that. So I guess I kind of saw that in JB. Not saying that he doesn't have ambition or anything, but just I guess the love for adventure and just
I wanted to be like Anthony Bourdain. No, just kidding. But yeah, go ahead.
That's it.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, so basically, this is exactly what she said. You know, just the thrill of traveling and yeah, I guess just having adventures.
Adventure. Do you remember our one
And
day
stuff
of
like
week
that.
adventures?
Yeah, there was a time, and we'll get to that maybe now. Just talking about like what we used to do, like jobs and stuff like that. When we were still dating, I used to have a job that required 6 days a week. Like, it was super jam packed. Like, yeah, basically like what she said. It was just like 1 day off a week,
Yeah.
and we had to make the most out of that. You know, we would do like
That was fun.
weird little adventures. We would drive to the beach. Sometimes we would go to like
Cubao X.
hipster places. You know, God bless Cubao X. I hope it comes back. But anyway, but just the weirdest, coolest stuff that we can think of. We would do that because I only had 1 day to really share with her, and I guess
That's fun.
yeah, that's really fun. Yeah. So I guess the whole culmination of how the Maximalist came out, at least for us internally, right, is that as we were working, you know, corporately, and
I was working in advertising at the time.
yeah, I was doing sales, so I had different sort of, you know, industries. Maybe later we'll try to go through that, but it's, you know, it's a long story. But yeah, I think for both of us, we were working so hard, and it's almost like this weird looming frustration internally, if that makes sense. And again, I want to be able to qualify this. You know, if you're in the corporate world, you know, I'm not saying hey, you have a dead end beat up job. You know, that's great.
It just wasn't for us.
If
That's
you love that, hey, you know, exactly. So I always want to be careful with what I want to say. Yeah, I guess for lack of a better
I hope
word.
you get the meme and I don't just look
I
like
hope
a
you
fool.
get, I
But
hope you get the reference about it built different. Basically,
share it in
it's,
the comments.
basically it's some big dudes with, you know, some muscles and, you know, with the egg and stuff. But basically, anyone can do it. Anyway, so going back to that, I guess we just sort of realized that we were built different. Not built. Let's try to make it sound a bit
no,
smarter.
okay. It
Maybe-
just didn't work for us. That's it. You
Yeah.
don't have to make it sound smart. It just wasn't for us.
Yeah, the 9 to 5, you know, just not even 9 to 5 for you.
9 to
Sometimes it was
2.
like 9 to 3 a.m.
9 to 8.
There was a time when we were engaged that I had to pick her up at 4 in the morning, and then we had to go to work again at 7, 8. You know, like it was crazy, man.
But the thing is, this was my dream job.
Yeah.
I was working in advertising. I was working for a company that I've always wanted to work in. And when I got there, and to sound super millennial, you know, like what they say, oh, pursue your passions. It just really wasn't working out for me. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking at my bosses and I was just thinking, I don't want to get promoted. Because if I get promoted, that means I'll just spend more time at the office. And my boss at that time, and she was great, I loved her.
Amazing people, yeah.
And she's not in advertising anymore too, but I just noticed that she would end up missing friends' weddings or just be at work all the time. And even like the highest of the bosses would be at work all the time, and it's not something I wanted to do. I was selling, I probably wouldn't share the brand, but I was selling a powdered drink.
Yeah.
And it was about the time we were starting to live healthy. And I just couldn't bring it to myself to just keep doing what I was doing. It felt meaningless.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to spend the rest of my life, or at least the next 5 years, doing something that didn't have any impact at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'm selling a powdered drink.
Yeah, that's true. And again, to qualify, you know, obviously, going through life in general, there are certain things that sometimes you may not like to do, or maybe, oh, this is really not my jam, but you still have to do it anyway because of certain responsibilities. I get that. That is not what this is about.
This is just our story.
This is
That's
yeah.
it.
This is more of our story. So obviously, it may not work for everybody.
Please.
It may not work for everybody else. And if you're wondering why we're like sweating so much, it's the middle of summer right now, and we turned off the fan because it's picking up too much on the sound. So if you're wondering, if you're watching the video, if you're on just
It's summer.
if you're just on audio, hey, just kick it back, just chill. So I think because of those things that were happening, and this is like basically most of our dating slash engagement season, where we were really hustling because obviously we want to get married, and we were just really trying to make money so we could set up a good life for us, and that's what we've always wanted for the Maximalist. Which if you guys will start to look at some of our socials, it's laid out pretty simply out there. We want to encourage people to find their greatest selves, to live their greatest life possible. So if you try to look back a few years ago, maybe this is like what, 8 years ago? No, before we got married, right? Because we've been married for 6 years now.
Yeah, maybe 8 years ago, yeah.
So this is this is basically almost 8 years in the making. It's just a lot of frustration from back in those days. And we came to a breaking point in 2015, which this was
the year we got married.
The year we got married. Towards the end of that year, we were like, okay, we don't want the rest of our married life doing this anymore. We needed some drastic change, and I think this is where we got to the point where we realized we spend too much time going to work
and going home from work.
Like
5 hours, right?
Sometimes 6 even.
Yeah, when we got stuck in
we used
traffic.
We used to work in Makati. So
and we live in the south.
Yeah, God bless Makati. I love that
in
place.
BF at that time, right?
Yeah, we lived in the south. So it's just crazy, man. Like for like 2 years or so, that was it. 6 hours gone, just like that. So we wanted to make a big shift, right? Like a big change, and we still didn't quite understand what we wanted to do. Obviously, we just went back to those 3 things that she liked, because I also kind of identify it as well.
He's just copying me, but whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to travel, but I'm like, so how the hell do you make money off traveling?
I feel like I'm the bad influence here, because JB's super like a rule follower, I'm just the one who's like, let's just do whatever, see what happens.
So she's the more creative, obviously. She's the one who edited the teaser video for the Maximalist. I just wash dishes. And more the way I'm wired also, in terms of like how I was brought up, is more really structured. I took engineering, so everything had to be logical. But at the same time, I still shared the same longing, I guess. It's like I just wanted to see the world. I wanted to have a significant impact, with our lives, So this is the funny part. Maybe we can talk about this for a bit before we get to the fun travel part. So we wanted to quit, right? So we wanted to quit our jobs. Yours was quite fun because it was like,
I was working for a food blog at that time.
Yeah,
after advertising.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that was it.
So it was fun because when she quit advertising, it was almost like she found it. I don't want to call it a gateway drug, but it was almost something like that. It was like she found a job that was still quite creative, still sort of advertising-ish.
Still provided job security.
Yeah, so it still provided job security. It still used most of the skills that she had, but now there's a new introduction of like, oh hey, maybe traveling and wanting to eat and document whatever isn't such a crazy thing after all, right?
Yeah, so I started working for a food blog. I actually had an interview right before we got married, and then I got the job. Started the job after a honeymoon. Yeah.
How funny.
So I was working for Pepper. Hi to my friends from Pepper, but
Miss you guys.
I worked in Pepper for a bit, and it kind of opened up my eyes to see like, hey, I didn't know food blogs could earn this much. I didn't know that. Travel blogs could earn that much. So I was just like, just maybe we could do it.
Yeah.
And I worked for another travel blog later on, but just seeing the possibility.
Yeah.
And obviously I sound so stupid just saying that. I want to be an influencer. No, I don't want to be an influencer.
Yeah.
But just seeing the possibility that you could actually make money doing something you love was such an eye-opener for me. Because I thought you just had to slave away and then kind of like have fun on the weekends, which I did not want that.
Yeah.
I want my whole 7 days to be, doing something I love.
Yeah. also, just to give you a context into everything that she said, you have to understand in this particular point in time, like 20, there was already a growing sense of like this whole travel blogging slash
They were all good.
adventure, but they were really good. So like
They were photographers, they were videographers, we know nothing.
there was already a shift in the online platform where people are tuning in, you know, travel bloggers by like 2015, 2016. This was like the height of their fame, and like people like, you know, like Do You Travel, like all of these people that we started following. But at the same time, we still felt paralyzed in a sense that these, like what you said, these guys are photographers, they're like digital creators, you know.
And we're us.
And we're us, you know. We don't even know how to properly use one of these things, the XT10 that we bought, you know, till now. We just don't fully maximize the power of that camera. So we were like, okay, skills wise, we're pretty much dead. Writing wise, you know, she could tell a good story. I can talk sometimes.
And you can talk.
But even back then, we felt so insecure into, all right, how the heck are we gonna get to do this? And going back to the corporate job, I love that she found, you know, the food blog. On my side, it's really funny because I was also the too chicken to quit. Like, you know, does that make sense? Like, I don't. Maybe I'm speaking to some of the workaholics here. Like, sometimes you just want something to go bad and they just let you go instead of like being the one to quit. And that's the funniest thing that happened to my job at the time was
she started not going to work.
No, not even that. This was the one point in time. I'll be honest. Like, if you know, like for the people who know me, I work my ass off, man. Like, I take pride in my work ethic. But this is the one moment in time in this particular industry. I was lazy. I was unmotivated. I didn't want to show up. But also, maybe that's also why I didn't want to quit, because it was like, you're useless, and then you're gonna quit. So what happened was the funniest thing that sort of it's almost like a you know free pass. Hey, you can get out of this now. The company closed, man. The company closed. I was like, yay! Like I felt bad because other people, obviously, a lot of my workmates.
We sound like horrible people.
I know. I feel so bad.
Sorry.
That's why
Please don't take this as life advice. This is our experience.
Please don't judge. It's just one of those. It's almost like a movie. It's like, yeah, you know, like other people are like super sad.
You should share that video if you're like, what
half of their life was in that company. Meanwhile, I was only there like less than 5 years, and I was so happy that they closed. And then, so anyway, so now let's get to the good part. So you started the food blog.
I didn't start.
You started working for the food blog place. The company was gonna close from where I was working at. And then we found like sort of
this was around May.
We found a window towards the end of that year where we were like, all right, maybe we can time the shift into that particular month. So basically December was the end of that year.
We got invited.
Yeah, I got invited to, you know, do some events in Africa at that particular time.
To Zambia. Hi, Chilo.
And we were super fresh, man. Like, so we were gonna do some, you know, youth event for the church there in Zambia. I was still volunteering for the church here that we go to here. So we were like, all right, you just started working for this food blog, which is super cool. But then I was gonna be let go by like November. Maybe early December. Yeah. The event that I was invited at, we
December
were invited
3,
at sort of like first week as well. So this was it was almost like one of those weird coincidences, but also maybe this is that. Excuse me. Maybe this is too much cookies, man. So good.
I had 3 cookies already.
And the coffee was really dope. But anyway, maybe this is it. And I guess we just took the leap, man. Obviously I didn't have to quit. I was gonna be done.
I quit my job.
She quit her job, yeah, because she was like, because at least, all right, to try to understand also, this is what we thought. We thought that first Africa trip would be the catalyst into this travel adventure that we would start to do.
We were gonna travel
coming into the next year. Yeah, like we were excited. Hey, you know, we could travel. when we first got married, a lot of people really gave to us financially. So we're like, hey, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can set up something here. We can just travel, fly here, and maybe just come up with something to make it back.
Yeah.
Which obviously later on you'll find out. We'll explain that didn't quite work. But anyway, so at least for us, hypothetically, theoretically, we saw it as, hey, maybe this is it. We're done with the corporate job. Maybe we could really venture into this adventure sort of, like blogging, like documenting your travels, and just at the same time didn't want it to just end up just like that. Like, oh, hey, look at our travels.
Yeah, we didn't want to be
God bless you. That's it.
We love travel blogs and they're really good ones, but for us, we just didn't want to be shallow. We just didn't want to be like a postcard, if that makes sense, or like something that like, oh, look at them, like I envy them. We didn't want that to happen. Like we wanted more substance, and at that time, I had no idea what to do. Like I was using my marketing skills to kind of like figure it out, but somehow, somewhere, I just couldn't quite define what we were trying to do. And also I was a bit shy because we were coming from a place of privilege where it didn't feel as accessible to other people, because obviously we had money. The fact that we could just book flights to Africa, obviously we didn't take like Etihad or anything. We shout out to Ethiopian Airlines.
We'll probably tell some of the stories about that
later on,
the good deals that we got. Anyway,
but we had money to just quit our jobs and do all these things.
It'd be fine.
Honestly, like on a whim almost, and I felt that it wouldn't be authentic or it wouldn't be relatable, so I didn't want to do it at that time. But I don't know where I'm going with it.
No, that's fine. So
that's it.
So I guess to give you a better picture of what we wanted to do, at least back then, we didn't even have the name of the Maximalist yet. It was
just a blog. That's it.
It was just like a travel blog, maybe like a couples blog, whatever, documenting our life. But at the same time,
couple goals.
I guess for lack of a better word, we wanted to be couple goals without being called an influencer. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be more, like what you said, like more of substance, so that when we travel, there's something that we can sort of showcase. Hey, this is what's happening on the other side of the world. These are the same things that a lot of us as humans connect with.
But we didn't know what we were gonna do.
But we didn't quite fully know yet. It was just more of like, all right, we want to empower and maybe inspire people to reach, hey, go for the stars with your dreams. Could be similar to ours, could be
different,
completely something else.
Honestly, one thing that
go ahead.
But this is how we are.
This is how we talk,
this is really like how we talk at night, except that we don't stay up until 2 a.m. But anyway, I guess for me, like I've always loved seeing people do what they love. Like at first I would feel so gutted seeing someone do what they love, like a dancer or whatever, making money out of what they love. But soon I came to realize that I love it. I love seeing people live out their passions. And one thing that I would always tell JB and I would ask myself is like, what if people who have changed the world didn't get to pursue what they pursued? Like, what if Michael Jackson never sang or danced? What if Steve Jobs, they're all dead. What if Steve Jobs never started Apple? Or like all these other things. What if these people never actually pursued what they pursued?
Yeah, their passions.
Yeah, and it changed the world. So to me, I'm just seeing like people who are probably stuck doing something that they don't love, maybe because of comfort, because of need, I don't know, or like maybe just lack of courage to just do something different. Can you imagine them not pursuing what they love, and whatever it is that they're meant to do or they love would change the world? That's so sad. And that's at the core of it. That's what I really wanted the Maximalist to be. I wanted it to be a catalyst to help people just discover, their great life and actually live it.
Really.
Because what's the point of life if you're just gonna be like, not doing what you're meant to do? And that's why when JB said, if you want to be an accountant, you want to do a 9 to 5, and you feel like that's really what you're meant to do, go for it.
Man. You're still part of this journey.
But for us, it's just different.
Yeah.
And just, I just want people to be their best selves, and live their greatest life and die with no regrets.
Yeah.
To quote one of my favorite movies, Dead Poet Society, it says to suck the marrow out of life, to really just, just talking about it is exciting me and also making me want to cry. But because we're in the middle of a pandemic, but
yeah. So like I said, she summarized basically what we wanted the Maximalist to be. Is just to introduce, what we, who we are, what we represent, but also give you an opportunity to pursue also your passions, your greatest selves, to live your greatest life.
Yeah, exactly.
Possible. And it's funny because she was talking about, hey, like Michael Jackson obviously is a singer, is a performer. It worked, for him. And for us, I guess, and I'm not bagging us out here or trying to sound insecure, but we just didn't quite know what singular skill we had. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not like, oh, hey, concert pianist as a kid and then plays in an orchestra. Ours was more of like, oh, this is what we like. I don't know if it's going to work out, but let's just do it anyway and hopefully be able to inspire people. So for us back then when we first got married, we thought, the whole travel thing, that was going to be the key.
Being hippies and all that.
We thought that was, we honestly thought that was the...
Part of me still knows for it, but
So now let's get to this part where, hey, you guys keep talking about 2016. It's 2021 now.
Yeah. So basically what happened?
So what happened? So maybe we could sort of...
I'll go, it's super quick, What happened? We went broke. No surprise there, but we went broke.
We we didn't have the foresight to be really...
Because I think we were just thinking in our heads, like, once we launch this is what's going to happen. But we never really... Because obviously we're like dreamers. We're not really like very organized people.
Yeah.
I'm not. Maybe JB is, but we just didn't put the legs on it, and we weren't smart.
Yeah.
With our money, we weren't smart with like income streams.
Yeah.
So we went broke and thought, okay, we can start it now because obviously you're gonna start a travel blogger at home. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, yeah.
And on top of that, we went to the States. We were still broke, but my sister lives there, so we just went there to help out, take care of her kid.
Sort of like a breather for us to just try to reset.
Yeah, and people were like, what kind of credit card do you guys have? But, no one knew the story behind all of these things, so we're sharing it now for the first time.
Actually, yeah.
Exclusive to our viewers, I'm kidding, but
yeah.
So we went to the States for 6 months, came home, had no jobs. JB kept having panic attacks in the States, right?
Yeah.
And after that, got a job, the blog I was talking about, and
another food publication.
And then I got pregnant, which up until this point we didn't want kids.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, it's so fun to just live like a free life where you can just do whatever, no kids to kind of like weigh you down. But I got pregnant, and when I got pregnant, I was genuinely happy. Like, didn't expect it, but when it came, it was like, oh, I didn't know I wanted this.
Yeah.
But sadly, 12 weeks later, I had a miscarriage. So all these things that were happening to us just kept pushing the dream back, and we were thinking like maybe it's not meant for us.
Yeah.
We also had our first child, Savvy, last 2019.
2019, yeah.
And then surprise, we also had another kid last 2020. Her name's River. And just all these things like being parents, new parents, and with the pandemic happening, all of these things just kept happening and happening that we didn't really, I guess, have the energy or like have the confidence, I guess that would be have the confidence to do the Maximalist anymore. Because it was just like, we just felt inauthentic talking about living your greatest life, and we didn't feel like...
And
we were living it, and it's like, meh.
Yeah.
But I guess I go to why we're starting it now. Like,
we're still in the pandemic.
Right? Yeah, and it's weird because we're not in the best place. Like, we're still not in the best circumstances financially because obviously giving birth in a pandemic, and I had a cesarean section, so it's expensive. And we're not in the best place. Like, honestly, making the video was like, we used to live so good and now we're like this. But, why not start now? The reason why we wanted to start is that we realized through all the crap, I was gonna say something else, through all the crap that we've been through,
Yeah.
Living your greatest life isn't about being there already, if that makes sense. Like, it isn't about a far off dream. It's like me, I remember being in high school and I was dreaming of college and like, oh, I'm gonna be one of those college girls dressed up in whatever,
Yeah.
walking in the field. But then I realized that once I got there, I was so focused on the future that I never really lived in the present.
Yeah.
Like, I was always focused on like, this is my dream, but never living in the present. And what I realized is you can live your greatest life in the journey, in the pursuit. It doesn't have to be the end product. Like, I love arts and crafts. I make leather and all these crap. And I don't just enjoy owning a bag. Like, I don't enjoy owning a bag that I made.
Making it is also.
Yeah, I enjoy the making
satisfying.
of it. So why is it that in life I'm always looking forward to like the end product when, you know, I should be satisfied in the process? And I guess that's why we've decided to just really start, because we might not be in our quote unquote dream life, or like our dream life, but I'd like to think that we can live our greatest life now.
Yeah.
Why wait? That's like waiting for retirement. Why wait?
Yeah. Also, I guess there's a shift now, also with the way people think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you guys can connect with this, but it's been quite obvious before how when you look at, you know, Facebook feeds and when Instagram first came out, it was almost just a highlight reel of like, oh, these are the great things that are happening to me. Oh, it's so polished, it's so set up well. That's great and cool and all, but I don't know if you guys have been starting to notice even a shift, you know, even with some of the influencers that talk now, you know, business moguls, entrepreneurs, motivational people.
But the bad stuff.
You look at the whole landscape of what's going on online, and especially now when the pandemic hit last year, you see a lot of these successful people finally opening up about, oh hey, we've just shown you all of our highlights. Hey, why don't we just start now to really talk about process?
Yeah, or the low moments.
And for us, that gave us it's almost like a bling, like a you know, like a light bulb clicking on that.
No shadow.
You know, I know. And to give you a little bit more of an understanding of how I think, at least for me, maybe not for her, is that I am a dreamer, but I'm also
a realist.
Unfortunately, a realist. And with all of the excuses, too much, yeah, that it paralyzes me. And on top of the realist, I'm a perfectionist. So the problem was with all of the excuses that she was mentioning a while ago, I took all of those things to heart every single year when we're like, hey, 2017, are we gonna do this? Oh no, you had a miscarriage, you know, we're still emotionally bad. We're still hurting, blah blah blah. Hey, what about 2018? No, we're still broke, still trying to get back on track with our funds. Okay, cool. 2019, oh, sadly was born our first kid. Oh, okay, we still have to get used to that, no sleep, blah blah blah. And then we were like, hey, maybe 2020, you know, it's like the dawn of a new decade, blah blah blah.
Perfect vision.
Yes, oh, 2020
Crap
perfect
like
vision.
that. Oh,
finally,
God.
you know, 5 years after we first thought about it, we can finally do it. And then pandemic hit and completely locked us all down.
Oh my God.
And that for, at least for me, that added another layer of excuse as to let's just not do this.
Yeah, I just felt like maybe it's not meant for us.
Yeah.
Right?
So now, a year after the pandemic was first introduced, I guess, you know, it gave us the realization as well that on top of people now talking about process, it's also the garnering truth of there's really never a perfect time to really start something.
Just go for it.
And I tried to put that in retrospect with everything that happened to us. You know, when we first got married, if I waited for the perfect time to marry you,
You would
we'd still probably be dating. I didn't have much money back then, right? And then on top of that, having our kids, we probably wouldn't have kids till like what, 45 or something.
But never na.
So
God,
what?
45.
So why is that? You know, with the human condition, sometimes that we want the perfect moment to begin something, and then life passes you by, and you're like,
Yeah, 5 years later, I haven't done anything, right?
Yeah, so now I guess we got into that realization, this year we're like, this really can't wait anymore. We just have to release it, even our our neighbors are like, hey, hollering and hooting, yeah, just do your thing.
But yeah, I
So
guess.
yeah, that's why we're doing this now, with our first ever episode of the Maximalist.
And I guess it's also frustration.
Being isolated for so long.
No, we're very grateful people. Like, I think one of the things that really get us through life is our gratitude and our humor, because we just laugh at everything.
Yeah.
But I've come to the realization that it's good to be grateful.
Yeah.
But also sometimes you gotta embrace the frustration. You gotta embrace the hate. Like,
Yeah.
we're honestly, I don't know if you can see it in my face, but we're in a situation that I absolutely hate. Like, I absolutely hate. Not that I'm not grateful for my kids and everything, but just the circumstances surrounding everything. I absolutely hate it. And I've learned that while I do need to be grateful to survive, I also need to embrace the hate to motivate me to just get out of here, get out of my situation.
Yeah.
And if I wait for myself to get out of the situation before I do anything, it's never gonna happen, right? So
Yeah.
that was really the major thing that really made me think, okay, we gotta start this. And also deep inside of me, even if I wanted to get like a regular job because times are hard, or like, just get a 9 to 5, it's easy. I mean, not easy, but okay, I sound like an ass.
Not easy, but it can be more convenient now that when you do have a job now, you can work from home.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I could easily get a job 9 to 5
Yeah.
with the people I've worked with,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I guess that's where I go back to saying that it wasn't for me. Not that I'm lazy or anything, because I love to work, but it's just I couldn't bring myself to apply for a job despite me needing it. And somehow, deep inside of us, that's why we said some dreams never die. It was still there.
Yeah.
Like, I see it, I see people doing it, and I'm just, I hate this person. I just, there's like this click, and I'm like, I just want to do it. So finally, we were just like, we did that video in like 2 days, because we were just like, okay, let's just do it. Let's publish something on our 6-year anniversary,
Yeah.
and let's just do it. So that's why I guess it's a bit raw, a lot raw.
Yeah.
Because we just decided and we don't really know exactly where we're going or what we want to do. But we do know that 1, we have a YouTube channel. 2, we're going to launch a website. I don't know when.
Hopefully later this year, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have an Instagram, and we're just going to share, our pursuit of the greatest life. That's it.
Actually, just a quick plug, with the things that she said in the last few minutes. If you haven't seen the trailer video of the Maximalist, just check our YouTube page. As we release this video / audio,
the very first video.
Yeah, we're gonna put all the links of our YouTube page.
God,
I know, what the heck, man. I sound like an influencer. Anyway, I hate myself, but
He doesn't. He loves himself. But
no, but yeah. So I hope as you tune into this, you've already seen the video. If not, just watch it after this, and it'll give you a bit more, I guess, context into what we're saying.
oh my God, link down below.
Oh gosh, I hate. Yeah.
You don't hate it. Just
I don't hate it,
we're growing
we have
into it.
we have to pivot, basically. So going back to what you just said, I love what you said about we don't.
Of course you will.
We just can't wait anymore. And I think this is the plus side of it, because sometimes a lot of people like, you guys wasted so much time, man. Like, at least for me, sometimes I think about that. And like, okay, 6 years later.
Yeah, we did. We wasted a lot of time.
Like he could have just done it back then. But I think the plus side also of this whole thing of the waiting, and maybe this can connect to some of you, is it added more substance.
A lot more.
Heaps more substance.
Oh God! If you knew all our stories, we'll get to that later. But
so I think a lot of the struggles, the frustration, it actually quite worked. Even the delay that may seem quite annoying while you were going through it. At least for us, it's like.
No, it wasn't annoying. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's almost like, is this ever gonna happen? But anyway, now that we did choose to make it happen, we kind of look back now and we're like,
it's a perfect time.
Hey, this is actually
right?
Yeah, it's sort of like not so perfect, but also perfect time in a sense that we have a bit more substance to give you.
And we know what to do. We know what we want to do.
And we have I guess, a better understanding of how we can sort of
we're not privileged anymore.
We can lay out a clearer picture of okay, these are the things that we want. This is where we struggle. This is where we're frustrated, heartbroken, blah blah blah. But this is where we want to go. So in saying all of that, I guess we were just trying to also pinpoint the people that really can not benefit, but can really, because we want to build a community.
Yeah, again, it's not just
around
for us.
this. It's not just for us, hopefully what we present to the table is just, again, a catalyst into something that you can start to look back into your own space also, and try to, evaluate, hey,
am I living the life I want?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only question you need to ask. And if there's any bit of frustration there that you're like, okay, there's something hidden on the inside of me, but I'm just too scared or can't do it, welcome to the club. And I just want to say, this is for you, Obviously, we want to put our story out there, but at the end of the day, if I could just get one person, to live the life they've always dreamed of with zero regrets, I'm happy,
So this is what we're doing now. The reason why we're doing this, video, maybe podcast, we still don't know what we're gonna call this, but we want. That's what happens when it's a good conversation. You just get to eat and drink pretty well. But again, we want to pinpoint you. If that is, if that's you, let's do this together. Let's just embrace the process together. Yours might look a bit different to it.
That's okay.
To what our story looks like. But at the end of the day, we have the same goals in mind. We want to pursue the greatest life possible. And obviously, there's a lot of challenges and setbacks that maybe you have already experienced. So why don't we just create a community around this? And also maybe that's something practically we can provide for you guys moving forward, is not just stories like this, but actually be able to provide, practical resource and tools.
Tips. Or maybe we can even have conversations. You can send us a message.
Yeah. So I guess before we close this whole episode is, we want to be able to pinpoint you. If this is you, hey, join the community, man. Like this is our tribe now. And if there's also people that that are that sort of share that same vibe, but like that pursuit,
or want to,
maybe they're on the fence and maybe
share it.
And maybe this is something that, as you have listened or watched this, you're like, hey, maybe this can benefit one of my homies or one of my friends. Share it to them, and let's grow this conversation. And it's not always just gonna be like this, I would love to also maybe do some live.
We'll see what we're gonna do.
We'll see what happens, maybe Clubhouse, whatever, like we live stream, whatever. So a lot of the things right now is still very like fluid, but the point of the matter is the vision that we want to set up, for the people to catch is, let's just do this, guys. Like whatever has set you back before. Obviously, we're still in a pandemic.
That's fine.
But hey, there's no perfect time to embrace the process than right now. So why don't you join us into this journey, And this will be fun because now, as you come along, as you tag along,
I'm excited to meet.
It's almost like I'm quite stoked to meet people. But this is how I picture it. I don't know if you can see this the way I do.
I thought you were pointing at something.
Oh no, sorry. I was like, how like you join a gym or like maybe like like a spin class. Shout out Electric Studio, we love you. Anyway, you join like a workout community, right? And it's almost like you start off somewhere, maybe somewhere a bit worse than others, but as you go through the process, everyone gets better, everyone gets healthy, everyone gets fit. There's camaraderie. There's this nice community. What do you think? I think that can be something that we can do also, with this Maximalist community. It's like this little tribe where we can all just continue to encourage each other, empower each other, be able to see also little wins along the way, like little checkpoints where, hey, I got a benchmark here, I got my goal here, and then it just keeps growing. Even for us, we'll be very fluid and transparent.
Not everything, obviously. Like
Yeah, like my kid, losing her first tooth. You don't need to know that.
Or maybe you will. I don't know. It's
maybe
just a
I
tooth.
will.
But
Yeah.
but that's it. I guess.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I just want to leave everyone with is the journey won't be perfect. Like for us, obviously, like what I've said earlier, we're not in the best circumstance. You can hear a neighbor. I don't know what they're doing, like playing with some ball or something. That's where we live, like in close quarters. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to encourage people. The journey is fun, and I guess this is for big dreamers. That's what I've always said. We're big dreamers. But one thing that I want to encourage you with, and maybe like give you a dose of reality with, is that we all want to see the big dreamers win. We all want to see the pinnacles. But something that we just talked about yesterday is that if you wanna live big, if you wanna go into the realm of living out your dream, like really, really, really living big, you have to sort of come to terms that you have to be willing to accept that you will fail big as well. That there's the possibility of failing big. So I guess that's what community is for. We want to celebrate your wins with you, but we also want to be there with you when you have big losses, like what we had. We had big losses, and for the longest time we were so ashamed to talk about it. But if you're gonna shoot for the stars, sometimes your rocket doesn't work, right? Your engine explodes. I don't know, but that doesn't mean you won't get there.
That's true. It's almost like what you said yesterday that I had to repost on the story. Is failures are necessary into, what was that, progress or something? See, I've already messed it up. But anyway, something about
I think if you want to live big, you have to be willing to fail,
big. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So maybe let's do like
I don't know how to look for it.
I know, yeah, exactly. Maybe we could do like a super fast round before we end, because I think we're already
Pink,
past
blue. No, I'm kidding.
45 minutes. What does the great life look for you?
Oh God,
Maybe
you go first.
I think for me the greatest life possible for me is obviously you guys are healthy, and the girls we're healthy, we're thriving, we have more than enough. But
30, thriving.
30 something and thriving. But anyway, no, but for real though, I think for me it's just a life that is, for lack of a better word, just a life that is significant. That
What does that mean?
Like I have made a difference into the people that are around me. You know what I mean? Like I can't influence all of you, but at least the ones that are
In your
sort
periphery.
of in my peripheral, whatever sphere of influence. At least I have made a positive impact, and hopefully I have left a legacy for them, for my kids, for you.
You're gonna leave me?
I think for me, at the end of the day, I just want that. I think for me, that's a great life for me. Just
Okay.
yeah.
He has to be perfect, right, with his answers. I think mine's very specific and kind of a lot of things. But to me, my greatest life is a lot of layers. But I guess if I were to put a mission into what I want with life, is to empower people to live their greatest lives and not have poverty or not have any barrier that blocks them from actually pursuing their greatest life. I know this is going to be a bit longer, but there's this one preacher who always goes to our church, and he was from Uganda. And he would tell the story that when he was younger, they would walk over dead bodies just to go to school. I can't even imagine.
Talk about heartbreak.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. I would always cry when he would come. I was just thinking about that. And in my heart, for me to live my greatest life is to be able to change the narrative of the lives of people like that. Or even people living in the city. Just for people who can't dream, for people who say, I can't live my greatest life because. I want to take out the because. I want to take out the reasons why people can't live their greatest life. Whether it's money, whether it's a mindset, whatever it is. That's the greatest life for me. And I guess in terms of the day-to-day, I want to be able to travel whenever I want, eat whatever I want, pay for whatever workout I want to do.
Yeah.
And, that's it.
Yeah.
Be healthy and give my kids a good future. That's it. Myself a good future.
Yeah, so maybe for you, you can also start to write down, or maybe record yourself, whatever works for you. Maybe you can really like pinpoint and specify for yourself what is the greatest life possible for you. And I think as we go through this together, we can keep tracing back to that.
Yeah. And we can also do like maybe an episode upcoming would be like how to figure out what the great life looks like for you,
Yeah.
because I understand it could be hard to figure out.
Like, where do I even begin?
Yeah.
So yeah, so just continue to kick back on the Maximalist. You know, I never want to end with like plugging, but just at least, you know, if you guys want to keep.
But he's gonna end with the plugging anyway.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but you know, I want to build this
It's
with you guys.
YouTube, so
Yeah, so if you guys want to, you know, be completely updated with everything that's happening, hey, you know, just follow us, you know, subscribe on our YouTube channel, The Maximalist. You can follow us on Instagram.
ding ding ding, click the bell. Oh my god!
I sound like those real estate people showing, hey, this is your house. But anyway, so yeah, just continue to follow our socials. You know, there's only two right now, YouTube and Instagram. Obviously, we have our own personal
Yeah.
accounts that you can look back to, but
We'll put it in the description below. Oh god.
yeah, so we'll just put everything, you know, all the information available for you guys online, and yeah, just share it, you know, watch it, listen to it, whatever works for you.
Send us messages.
Send us messages also. Maybe if you have questions, you know, we want
Or
this.
episodes you want us to
Yeah,
do?
we don't want this to just be like, oh hey, this is what we have, you know, you take it. It's like
Just no pranks, please. Okay.
Yeah, we want to be able to also gain some feedback from you guys,
Yeah.
so we can continue to make this thing better. Obviously, this is the first episode, so we're still trying to like introduce certain things, but the more we progress, I think this will be more laid out well. So that's where we need you guys, you know, just continue to send in questions, maybe advice, maybe, you know, tips, tools, you know, like
Whatever. Just send us a message.
yeah, so just send us a message. We'd love to get to know you guys. Yeah, and to end this, let's all live 100 together, guys. So JB,
Chris.
Chris,
You guys.
you guys.
Bye.
So well, yeah, welcome to the Maximalist life, everybody. Let's do this together. So hope to see you guys again. Peace.